Before you hear this story, you should know one thing. Some clowns don't perform for laughter. They perform for screams. And the one you're about to meet doesn't belong in a circus or on a stage or anywhere near the living. He waits in the dark, patient, smiling, hungry. And once you notice him, he never stops noticing you back. Now, listen closely. The clown doesn't like when people miss his entrance.
It started with a sound, small, faint, almost playful. A soft tap, 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 echoing from the hallway in the dead of night. At first, I thought it was the house settling, old pipes, a branch scraping the wall outside. But then it came again. The same rhythm, slower, deliberate, almost like someone knocking from the inside. I shouldn't have ignored it. I should have rolled over, pulled the blanket over my head, pretended I heard nothing and let sleep take me back. But something dragged my attention, something cold, instinctive, wrong. I opened my eyes, and in the faint glow of the moon slipping through my curtains, I saw him, a clown, sitting in the far corner of my bedroom, perfectly still. His skin looked like old plaster, cracked, flaking, stretched over a skull that seemed far too eager to grin. His hands were folded neatly in his lap, long fingers twitching like they were remembering the shape of something they had once held. But it was his face. God, that face. A smile carved too wide, paint bleeding down his cheeks, eyes sunken, hollow, gleaming with a hunger that didn't belong on anything human. He didn't move. He didn't speak. He just stared at me, as if he'd been waiting for me to wake up. My body went rigid in the bed. My breath froze in my chest. I couldn't tear my eyes away from him. I whispered, barely audible, "Hello?" The clown's head twitched, a tiny jerk, like a puppet whose tines had been nudged. Then he giggled. A tiny, breathy sound, but broken, wet, like something in his throat was struggling to move. I scrambled backward against the headboard, heart slamming against my ribs. But he didn't chase me. He didn't lunge. He didn't stand up. He just slowly tilted his head, vertebrae cracking like a stick snapping underfoot. The tap, tap, tap returned. It wasn't coming from the hallway. It was coming from his fingers. He was tapping his long nails against the floor. Tap, 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 as if marking the seconds, counting them down, waiting. His smile widened. New cracks split down the corners of his mouth. Dark red seeped through the paint. He lifted a hand and pointed, not at me, but at the doorway behind him. I swallowed hard. The air felt too cold, too heavy. Then I saw the door slowly creak open. Something crawled out. A pale hand first, then another, then a face, twisted, contorted, eyes forced wide open, lips stretched into a permanent trembling smile carved with brutal precision. Then another body, then another, 3 of them, dragging themselves across my bedroom floor, leaving faint streaks of dark red behind, their limbs bent in ways that made no sense. They were smiling like him. The clown's shoulders rose and fell in a pleased, excited shiver. He leaned forward slightly and whispered, "They didn't laugh, so I made them." My voice trembled. What do you want from me?" The clown slowly stood. His bones cracked loudly with each inch of elevation, like old wood being bent too far. He was tall, much taller than I expected, unnaturally tall. His shadow stretched across the floor, swallowing the crawling figures as though they belonged to him. He stepped toward me, one dragging foot at a time, shoes scraping the floor with a sound like metal on bone. His breath hit me before his body did. Warm, foul, metallic. It smelled of rust and rot and sugar, like old carnival candy melting over a corpse. He leaned close enough that I could hear the wet movement inside his throat. His voice was barely a whisper. "You haven't laughed yet." My jaw tightened in terror as his cold hand lifted, trembling with anticipation, reaching for my face. And then the lights cut out. Darkness swallowed everything. There was nothing but breathing, wet giggling, crawling, whispers, tapping. I stumbled from the bed, running blindly through the pitch black, tripping, crashing into walls, scrambling toward the door. My fingers grabbed the handle. I yanked it open, and I ran. I didn't look behind me. I dare not. I just bolted down the hallway, down the stairs, out into the freezing night air. I didn't stop running until I reached the street, lungs burning, vision blurry. When I looked back at my house, the clown was standing in the upstairs window, head tilted, hands pressed to the glass, watching me. His smile was wider, fresh blood dripped down his chin. The lights flickered behind him, and in that flicker, I saw the 3 figures crawl up beside him, staring with empty, hollow smiles of their own. Then the lights went dark. I moved out that night, never went back, never spoke about it. But sometimes, late at night, when the room grows cold, when the lights flicker just once, when I hear a faint tapping on the wall, that same slow rhythm, tap, 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 I know it isn't the house. I know it isn't the wind. I know he's close, waiting. Because once, just once, when I woke up in the middle of the night, I swear I heard him whisper right beside my bed, "You still haven't laughed."
Like if you dared to watch till the end, and subscribe for the next scare.